What's up, do-it-yourselfers? Thanks for tuning in to Small Engine Repair Channel, where our main goal is to make sure you know that you have the ability to fix or repair whatever you want to take on. As always, thanks for tuning in to Small Engine Repair Channel, and here we go. We're going to start by rebuilding this mower deck by removing the covers. These are a 10mm bolt or headed bolt. We're going to use a 10mm socket. I'm going to point the screws out on the covers here just so everybody kind of knows where they're at. We're going to zap them off. You can use these with the manual tool. I'm a little quicker with my Milwaukee, so I use that. It is a convenient tool if you can get one. I highly recommend it. Doesn't matter the brand. We're going to move on to idlers next. After we get this right hand side cover pulled, you can see here just 2 bolts. Pull that cover off and boom, there it is. So next we're going to move to idlers. I'm going to start with a flat idler in the middle here. I'm going to get a different angle so you guys can see how I pry them up, and we're going to cut to a frame here that is very, very specific. Don't forget on your bolts too, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I know that's basic, but just not judging, but you have to make sure this nut is flush for this next part. If you pry with the nut down, you will destroy the threads, and you'll be basically having to do more repairs that we'll cover another day. You can see here how I slam the idler down. I pry up with my pry bar right on the very bottom, and boom, there it comes. It'll pry up right after that. We're going to do this to the following idlers and go from there. You can see here I zap the big flat idler off. It's a 15mm nut. It's universal on all three of these idlers, and you just loosen them up. It's pretty basic procedure on that one. So you can see I'm going to take, you can use a screwdriver here or whatever you can get underneath that thing. Just one bang, boom. You can see I get it here. I'm going to zoom in on this next one so you guys can actually see how it pries up when I do hit it. It's being a little stubborn. And there it is. Boom. Okay, it's up now. So we're going to remove all 3 nuts. Take all the idlers off. Little pro tip that I do, I use the back of the mower deck for a bolt tray. That way I'm not losing bolts everywhere or nuts. Just something I do. You can do however you want. Some people use buckets, some people use little containers. I use the machine I'm working on. These are a 7/8, and these are the pulleys on top of the mandrel. They're a 7/8 socket. The middle one, you're going to notice here in a minute, I do have to remove the guard to get out, and it's just pretty tight. So holding them stationary will be difficult, but not impossible. You'll notice I have to pull the bolt guard here, and I'm going to zoom in on the octagon there. It is crucial you inspect those pulleys. If they are rounded in the middle and you can't see that shape, they will not make correct traction or contact with the mandrel when you install the new ones, and you're just basically going to spin a belt and destroy your new pulleys or new mandrels on old pulleys. These ones were good. I inspected them when I tore it down. So you'll notice I had to pull the guard there to get the center one out. No big deal. Just a 10mm bolt. Guard slides right out. Pulley comes out. We're going to get the shop vac out, start cleaning here. Just vacuuming around. It just makes for a lot easier tear down when the mandrels come out. The mandrels will be coming out here in just a second. I'm going to go do a zoom shot of the 10mm bolts holding them out. However, I did have some camera failure on actually removing the mandrels, so we won't be able to visualize that, but just the 4 bolts in the manual drop out of the mower deck, and then the mower blades remove the exact same way as the pulleys, just with a 15mm socket, or I'm sorry, a 15/16mm socket, and not the 7/8 like the top pulleys. So we're going to move on to blade sharpening here. I make equal passes on each side of each blade. Kind of helps me balance it in the end too, and we'll just make a few passes on this side, and I'm not going to show all 3 blades being sharpened because we'd be here for 15 minutes probably showing that. I'm just going to show a few clips, and we're just making equal passes, making sure the angle is the same. You can see I kind of show the blade there. I'm not showing any type of weird grind marks on the face of the blade or the lift part, just keeping the same angle. I use a glove. Obviously these blades do get hot, so you don't want to just grab it. Some people like the guard on the grinder. The way I have the blade face down and the table I've made here for the grinder, I don't find the guard absolutely necessary because all I do is sharpen blades on it. You'll notice how I hit the back side of that blade once. That just puts a nice edge on it. We're going to move back to the mower deck here. You'll see I got the brand new spindles laid out and ready to go. And we're going to remove them here, kind of clean up the area. And you'll see I got the jack stand out. I just find this easier for lifting the back of the mower deck, which you'll see here in a minute, or the front, however your mower deck works, just to make it sit up. And what I do is I take the spindle and I will come in from the underside Some of them will get installed from the top side, but 90% of mower decks will be from the bottom side. And so I'm going to take this spindle here. You'll see it. I have it. The camera angle gets a little funky, but as you can tell, I just push it up from the bottom with one hand, take the impact gun with a 1/2-inch socket, and take those little 1/2-inch screws. I do put a little blue Loctite on them and equally cinch them down just half tight, or what I call just snug, and then zap them to about, you don't want to go too tight because they are going into aluminum, and so going into aluminum is a thing, and you want to make sure they just kind of stop. We're going to move on to blade tightening here. We're just a 15/16 socket, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and I zap these things pretty darn tight. You don't want them to come off. I believe the 85, 90 foot-pounds, depending on what unit you're working on, is the certain torque. I've used an impact gun for 20 years, never had one come loose yet, knock on wood. All right, let's put our new idlers on. You'll see they're still in the packages here. Go ahead and unpackage them. Put them on the appropriate areas as to where they go. You'll notice I do have two different colors here. Not a big deal. If they are the same size, the same shape, and they're going to function the same, no problem at all. It just so happens our distributor had two different color idlers, and we're going to use them. I'm going to grab our nuts and our top pulleys over here, bring them on back over to our work area, put the top pulleys back on, and then bring our hardware. You'll see how they kind of fit on there. That's where I was talking earlier. It is crucial for these things to basically have that shape inside of the pulley. I did just realize I had to grease this thing before I put the pulleys on, and the way the Zerk fittings work, it is easier to get the grease gun in there before putting the pulleys on. So you'll see here I've zoomed in. We're going to do all 3 mandrels. Just getting, I usually go about 20 pumps on a brand new mandrel just because they are dry. I'm going to move to the center one here. I do have a battery powered grease gun. It is not required. Move to the very far right hand side mandrel here. Once we're good and greased, take your pulleys and just put them on. Not too much to this trick here. So I can't overstate this enough. If those pulleys are rounded inside, they are going to cause you problems on brand new parts. Do not install rounded pulleys on brand new mandrels. So put the nuts on, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And here comes the shit show. Watch me grab the wrong socket there. Now we got the right socket. Oh, now we're going to go on a fun journey of where did the impact gun go? Oh, could it be under the mower deck? We'll see. Oh, maybe. Maybe we're still looking around. Not under there. Where did it go? Still looking for that thing. Well, finally found it. Righty, let's tighten these things finally. I'm going to cinch these things down tight. My impact gun's not going to move anymore when I'm done holding or letting off the trigger. You can see the socket does not move when I'm still pulling that trigger. I do not want these pulleys coming loose at all. They basically cinch up the blades too at the same time. So we're going to make sure they are tight. Last, one of the final steps to this process here is let's get the belt done. You're going to see I start on the right hand side. This thing came in without a belt, so it did take me a minute to kind of remember what the orientation was. But here we go. I'm going to figure it out in just a second. Usually these can be found online too if you have a problem with your belt routing or you just need to know your exact model. Just so happens I've been doing this a while, so I kind of knew this one after I looked at it for a second. So we're going to go into the flat idler first, go up around the middle mandrel. You notice I still got that guard loose, and that's so I can get the belt in there. All these idlers are loose still too, and the reason is they each have a guide or basically a piece of metal holding the belt to the idler, and you need to be able to pull up like I just did on that big middle one to get in there. So we're just looping around. Make sure that when you're kind of reading a belt system, a flat idler will always ride the back side or the flat side of the belt, and the V side or the bottom side of the belt will always ride in the V pulley. You'll kind of see how I tighten these down now, just hand tight, and I'm going to get my impact gun, tighten these idlers down so there is no way this belt can come out. Just the 3 idlers here. We've already tightened all of our spindles, so we're good there. Get that guide in. That can be a forgetful one once in a while. People have forgot that one, and your belt will come off pretty darn quick if you don't put that on. So we're going to put our guards back on the same way we took them off, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You don't want to over-tighten these things either. Nothing on this mower deck likes to be over-tight. You'll notice all the idlers are nylocked. I use Loctite on the bottom mandrel bolts. I mean, you want stuff tight, but it doesn't have to be Macho Man Randy Savage tight. Oh yeah! And just like that, we have a complete mower deck again. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. And please like and subscribe if you found this video of value or just enjoyed it.